Democracy, the double standards, which is not what I'm here to talk about. I'm not here to debate nobody about politics. I'm just saying it's just a waste of time. But when I start talking financial markets, I'm going to need you to use your mature big girl, big boy voice and realize that he's not talking politics no more. He's talking about the flow of money because that's his job. That's my job. I'm going to say things you don't like. That's my job. My job isn't to give you a political analysis that will make you feel happy or make you understand the world a better way according to your perspective, right? It's only democracy when your party wins. It doesn't work like that because this idea of democracy is flawed, right? I am here to talk about money, how it flows and where it's going, how to see where it's going before it happens. So I'm going to talk about the Trump trade. I'm going to call this a Trump trade, right? And then better for those of you who are into finance, trading for yourselves or work corporately and long-term investments, give you a methodology that works to better plan your finances. Because 365, shake my hand and welcome to another video. I haven't done one of these in a very, very long time. Some of you are actually upset with me. I understand. I let you down. I disappeared. But there are a couple of things we need to talk about. US elections are done and dusted. 47th president is the 45th president. Donald Trump is back. He's the convicted felon. 10,000 chances is back again in power, right? So we need to cover a lot. We need to cover. This video is about financial markets. This video is about what the stock market's going to do, what the crypto market's going to do, what the dollar is going to do. This video is more of a I told you so situation. This video is not a Trump endorsement. I am sick and tired of the lack of critical thought and layering, required to have such conversations. You can't even have a conversation with people anymore without people being binary, right? If you're anti-Trump, you're pro-Harris. If you're pro-Harris, you're anti-Trump. What about people like me? Anti both of them, right? So I'm going to say a lot of things, and I need to put this in the introduction. If you hear what I'm saying sound like I am pro-Trump or pro-Harris, you're not hearing me correct. My mic is working fine. You're not hearing me correct. Nothing wrong with the audio, something wrong with how you're hearing me. My job in the financial market sector is to talk financial markets. So if I say the markets want Trump, I'm not the markets. I'm a financial markets analyst. It's my job to know what the markets want because that's how I do my job. Let's say your job is to be a chef and you're in the kitchen, whipping it like a slave in the kitchen. Your job is to know the recipe to make that nice meal. My job is to know what the markets are cooking to know what they want. In this case, you'll see, like I said, markets are always going to go for Trump. Oh, what do you mean markets want to go for Trump? Markets are a microcosm of, big sectors in society. If you believe in the saying, the world goes, money moves the world, money makes the world go round. Whoa. That simply means wherever there is a flow of substantial capital, you're going to get direction of flow there. But Leroy, does this mean that you can buy democracy? Well, dear person asking that question, do you believe in democracy? Because I want to talk a little bit about that, right? So I'm going to do a quick intro, which is a disclaimer, so that you don't bag me in such a lazy intellectual way. I don't care. I am not pro-Trump, and I am definitely not pro-Harris. I am not pro-Republicans. I am definitely not pro-Democrats, because my understanding of these people is that they are part of a ruling elite class and they use the state apparatus to oppress and basically exploit the rest of the world. It doesn't matter who you put in power. It could be the first Black woman, the first Latino woman. It could be the first, already done the first Black man. Not real change happened. And once you change your perception of what the state is and what it is actually there to do, you will stop believing when politicians open their mouths and spew well-decorated lies. Oh, but Harris was going to do so much for women. She's been in state for a very long time. Okay, she wasn't president, but I'm pretty sure being vice president is a big deal. Now, I don't want to get into policies because you're going to lose me there. We're going to get lost. You're going to miss my messaging. My message is the state is a class on its own with its own class interests that have got nothing to do with the voting base. There is a complete, massive gap between the people voting, what they want, and what the state actually does. So it doesn't matter who you put in power. ANC, GNU, DA, EFF, they will do the same thing over and over again. And it's only human beings who are the most intelligent species on the planet who habitually fall into stupid patterns over and over again. But this video is about how I was able to predict that Trump was going to win 2 years ago, but I hit you up. I found another video on my YouTube channel that you don't subscribe to. What's wrong with you, man? I give you these germs for free. I'm cooking, bro. I found a video in April where I re-emphasized what I say to you guys on the 11th of November 2022. Why am I making this video? It's not because I'm always right, blah, 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 blah. It's to help you understand that we're about to change trajectory, all right? If you follow my channel, you know that we always like to know what the Reserve Bank governor, Mr. Jerome Powell in the United States, is about to do, right? And he likes acting like there's a separation of power. Separation of power means the judiciary does ABC, that's the court system, the executive and the presidential do ABC, and they, as the Federal Reserve, when it comes to the economy and markets, they have this independence. And I'm going to show you that there's a correlation like I've been doing when I used to drop videos, right? And now that Trump is back, remember Trump and Jerome were together, during that COVID era, where they were printing money. And then Trump left. Biden came in. But when Trump left, he left an inflation problem that Jerome has been trying to deal with for the last 4 years. Literally, rate cuts, rate hikes. I went through all that with you and I was consistent with the videos. All right. Trump is back. Trump is back and he's made a lot of promises, and Trump likes to show off when he makes promises. All right. When he makes promises, when it comes to the markets, because of the capitalistic nature in him, most of those promises get delivered at the detriment of the bigger picture of the working class. It don't matter, right? But what's about to happen is there's about to be a market shift. And I always tell my traders, know the market sentiment, right? Sentiment is short time. It's the mid-range, right? That's sentiment. Understand the market fundamentals. The fundamentals are shifting. We're moving away from democratic policies, democratic-driven dollar, democratic influence in the market space, and we're going to a Republican, fundamentally shaped economy on a moving train. So there's been a long wave train that's been happening since Obama, since the 2008, 2009 crisis, right? So it's not like they're going to shift everything. They try and steer the ship that they find moving in the direction they're moving in, all right? So that's also very important. On top of all of that, we need to understand technical analysis. I'm going to throw in some charts, all right? But this is not a trader's war room. This is not my signals videos. This is me once again showing you the power of 3, 6, 5, because I did this. And this is one of the many reasons that I am at fault for. The reason why I stopped dropping videos is because my therapist, 2 years ago, I did like a year of therapy again. And my therapist, brought a few things, to the light about me that are not necessarily bad things, but could be bad things, but not necessarily good things. They're just how I am, and I must be careful about it. And one of those things was I overpour into people, right? Okay, cool, Mr. Nice Guy. But the problem is I secretly, once in a while, would appreciate people pouring back into me, but I don't voice that out, all right? So it creates resentment and all these weird things, and it was happening, whatever. So that's what happened with the channel. Like, I was like, this channel, my channel, has such great information, okay? So much information on the channel, but the analytics weren't showing it. Like, they weren't showing the engagement. I wasn't seeing people maybe egotistically the way I thought the channel deserved. And I was like, oh man, I just got burnt out. And you have to remember that there's a crazy theory in the world, money equals time. And that's an absolute lie. That's an absolute lie. If you really follow, great experts on that stuff, you'll soon realize that time is 10 times more valuable than money. In fact, there are many things you couldn't put a value on, and those things are time. And so all that time and the effort I was putting into but not receiving love, I took that as rejection. Real talk, I was in my feelings. So I got busy putting my time into things I knew I was used to pouring back into me. Now, I've always been like a small time solo trader, trading with my small, trading firm, 12, 14 traders, and just focus on the senior traders program. And so I just dropped the ball on making YouTube videos. But I'm healing. And someone will be like, oh no, you gotta be consistent. The numbers will come if you're consistent. That works if your end goal behind these channels is monetization. My YouTube channel is not monetized. So consistency comes if you're like, yeah, I'm gonna cash in one day, but I'm not. I haven't monetized my channel. So it's absolutely a thing that I went through. But anyways, I'm back. I know I said I'm back 6 months ago, and then I was back for a while, and I left. But it was just those things. So please, if you do like the video, please do like, because that would help despite my own issues. I'm going to work through them, right? Don't forget to share. Sharing this on your own social media page. Yo, check this guy out. Really goes a long way. But let's get into it. So this channel that I'm talking about is the 365 Trading Academy YouTube channel. And I've shared incredible things. And one more time, maybe before I even show the channel, let's recap. I am not pro-Trump, nor am I pro-Harris. I am an anarchist. That means I do not believe in government or state. I am anti-statist by the very definition. I don't think a single president in the whole world could make a big difference that is beneficial for everyone. I do not believe what happened in America was democracy in the sense of radical democracy. I don't think what happened in South Africa a few months ago when ANC lost and was GNU was, democratic, or it was democratic in a sense, yes. How you guys define democracy, I completely agree with that, right? Because I'm seeing now on social media, before this, people are like, let your voices be heard. Let your voices be heard. Let your voices be heard. It's democracy. Let your voices be heard, right? And then people go make their voices heard. And their voices are, we want Trump, right? Most white men voted for Trump. Most Hispanics, Trump is anti-immigrant. Like, even if you're a Hispanic and you're born in America, surely you should feel a certain type of way seeing Trump there, right? A lot of women, specifically white women, I saw the stats. The stats are a bit different in terms of demographics this year, voted for Trump. Right, but they were the majority. They did let their voices heard, right? They got their voices heard. And then people now are turning around saying, oh, but that's not democracy. No, you didn't get what you wanted, right? Democracy isn't getting what you want. When you don't get what you want, it's no longer democratic. It's a democratic vote. People put Trump in power. Whether it was a mobilization issue behind Camilla, whether the switch happened too late, and I don't know. But I don't get it. I don't get the point of changing, a cat with a meerkat. You still got a cat, bro. Whether you got Trump, who is absolutely anti-labor, anti-working class, anti-people, anti-society, anti-women, but Kamala Harris belongs to an administration that is anti-human rights. Look at what they're doing in Gaza. That she is the vice president of the pro-Israel alliance. These things are not separate, right? Just because she's going to be the first Black woman in power, and it's not a stab at women. Again, you're going to do this binary thing? Miss me with that. My point is the state will pursue class interests as a state. Within the state, the people who run the state, what do they have as people run the state? What do they have that you don't have? They have the means of coercion. What does that mean? They can organize the army and the police at your house right now. They can conduct a search and seizures in your private property right now. They have the license to shoot and kill. If you're in America, I talk to Black people, that's the state. They've got means of coercion that you and I can't do, right? That's a problem for me. That's a little bit, authoritarian, if you get what I'm saying. They can decide if you as a human being are legal or illegal, right? And I don't want to get into the Abahambe, debate. But what's interesting about the Trump vote, I will say this, and I'm talking to my African people now, South Africa, blah, 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 people commenting about Trump, and I can't believe Trump won. I can't believe Trump is a microcosm of society. In fact, I see so much of Trump in South Africa. I see more of Trumpy behavior right here in the land of Ubuntu. So the hypocrisy, the double standards, which is not what I'm here to talk about, I'm not here to debate nobody about politics. I'm just saying it's just a waste of time. But when I start talking financial markets, I'm going to need you to use your mature big girl, big boy voice and realize that he's not talking politics no more. He's talking about the flow of money because that's his job. That's my job. I'm going to say things you don't like. That's my job. My job isn't to give you a political analysis that will make you feel happy or make you understand the world a better way according to your perspective, right? It's only democracy when your party wins. It doesn't work like that because this idea of democracy is flawed, right? I am here to talk about money, how it flows and where it's going, how to see where it's going before it happens. So I'm going to talk about the Trump trade. I'm going to call this a Trump trade, right? And then better for those of you who are into finance, trading for yourselves or work corporately and long-term investments, give you a methodology that works to better plan your finances. Because at the end of the day, until we have real socialism, real communism, whether you like that stuff or not, right? Until we have it, your material conditions, have to be answered for. I still have this is what I do. This is what I do, right? So I'm just teaching you how to read financial markets. The political commentary that comes with that is not me endorsing anyone. It's simply saying, I knew Trump was going to win, not because he was the better candidate. There's no such thing as the better candidate in my head. Bonke ba bolile. Translation, they're all rotten. They're literally all just rotten, right? That's how I think an anarchist would think, right? Oh, and there's an anarchist in financial markets. Duh. Yes, we're everywhere. We're in medicine. You need an anarchist in medicine. You need an anarchist in the financial system. Being understanding that capitalism is bad doesn't mean I now have to be unemployed and sit under a tree and not trade and not get involved in financial markets. That's not how that works, okay? It's a political conscious understanding. In fact, we need more anarchists in the financial markets. How else do you control the means, right? Means of production can't just be land and factories anymore in 2024. Not with the rise of innovation and AI. You have to understand the financial sector, especially if you're going to abolish it one day. Shake my hand, the jacket is off, let's get cooking. Right, so I want to talk to you guys about the dollar. I want to talk to you guys about what I saw 2 years ago, why I was right, or what I said to you guys in November, again, why I was right, why I stopped making videos, because no matter how many times I'm right, y'all don't show your boys some love, man. Where's the love? Where's the love? I don't know how many people are doing this stuff. So I felt like, what's the point? What's the point? But I understand now. I've reshaped how I make my videos. I am making a long-term catalog of videos for my children. That way, when you don't show me love, I know they will watch them one day. Well, I hope they will. Right, so this is the channel that I'm talking about here. This is Five Train Academy. Check it out. Please do subscribe. I would appreciate that, right? But if you notice, my last video was about 4 months ago, and I was doing war rooms, and I think we're doing so well. I was on war room 93. I was like, oh my God, 2024, I'm going to end up on war room 100, which would be such a big milestone because I've been doing this for about 2 years. And 2 years. War rooms, by the way, are where I give you my weekly analysis so you know what I'm buying and what I'm selling for free. I don't sell signals. I literally just press record, tell you I'm buying here, selling here, buying here, selling here. And then week after week, we start to build our portfolio together that way completely for free. And then in the background, I have a set up, all recorded online course, which teaches you how to trade the way I trade. If you're ever interested in that kind of stuff, right? But I'll come back to war rooms, I promise. But I'm on a journey of coming back, right? So down here, guys, I was interested, right? So I was looking for the place. So when you watch this video, I am back. 2024 market insights. I literally, if you look at the thumbnail, says market fundamentals, inflationary data, Nasdaq, GBP, USD, and dollar. So in that video, I talk about the dollar, right? And I use the dollar as a mapping guide to predict who will be president. But it's not the first time I'm doing that on the channel. 6 months ago was not the first time I predicted Trump would win. The first time I did it was 4 years ago after Biden. Before that, I predicted that Biden was going to win, by the Democrats rather were going to win. And then on the 11th of November, 2022, I will never forget that because 11th of November is a very big, significant date in my life. And I took time. It's a very special day, in my life. And I took time to make a video on that day, sort of focusing on what I was supposed to be celebrating in my life. So I made this video somewhere down here. You'll see. I know the thumbnail very well. So yeah, go watch this video. Democrats versus Republicans, the impact of the dollar and how it affects your trading. It's a full historical analysis of the dollar, right? I start off with, talking about the war, the Telegram channel that I didn't abandon it. I'm just not involved right now, right? So look at this. 112 views for a video that was done 2 years ago that accurately, remember, if I'm right in this analysis, I'm not just saying I know who's going to be president. No. It's more than that. If I'm right in this particular, I didn't even know the video wasn't showing. If I'm right in this analysis, this is how you should line up your money. This is where you should set up your buys. This is what's going to do well pre-election because financial markets set up before. If you get into a trend today, like now, everyone's trying to jump into a Trump trend. That trade is over, my bro. I promise you, Bitcoin hit an all-time high, 75,000 US dollars. You want to buy Bitcoin today? Where were you? Where were you 6 months ago? When this thing was at 40? Where were you when it dropped to like 30 something? You want to buy it now? You're going to be caught in a trap. You're going to be caught in a bull market trap all the damn time. Tesla stocks hitting 285. You want to buy them now? Because all of a sudden Trump is won and Elon Musk is what? You want to buy it now? Where were you when it was at 188, 165? When power was beating the markets, every meeting, every Fed rate meeting, when CPI data was showing up and plundering the markets, where were you? What happened to buy low, sell high? What happened to the simplest principle? You want to react now. Be careful. Trade lightly. Anyways, in this video, it's very important. I explain how each political party since 1969, I'm an economic historian, but I love that stuff. I walked through the charts one by one. This is the president of the United States, and you can see, and there was a pattern that I taught you guys to look out for, right? My long wave supply and demand analysis pattern, right, paid off. It really did. And so that was another significant time on the channel. I told you, guys, what to think. But here is the 6 months ago one, the one I told you about earlier on. That's the only clip I'm going to play right now. I'm going to play, it's a short clip. And then we're gonna get into today's video. This already in today's video. So here it is. So this is what I put out in April this year, right? And the dates are there. So 6 months ago, I'm pretty sure it was April. Yeah, 23 April, right? This was my first video back from my long-term sabbatical. I was like, 2024 market insights overview, ISET price projections and trade ideas, right? So one of the trade ideas I gave you guys in April was a Trump trade. And I want to give us a snippet because I don't want to do the full analysis in this video, but I want to give you proof, razzle dazzle. And there's bigger proof in that video from 11 November 2022. The whole video is about the stuff. Repeat it again in April this year, 2022. Please tell me you get it because I know you. Particular video, I know I'm already tapping into your concentration levels and it's time to stop. But there are a couple of things I want to bring up. Again, going back to the dollar. Now that I've kind of like done an overview of the markets and really scanned, a couple of assets, not all of them, but the major players, there are a couple of things I want you to know. Outside of election year, actually, let's use this chart. Right? So this is that USD JPY chart I was telling you guys about that's doing stinkingly well right now. And that's simply because, look, man, dollar is strong. CPI happened, and maybe I should walk you guys, through that kind of stuff again. But right, so and just watch. Let's actually go to monthly. Let's go to the monthly time frame, and we're looking at this level here, right? So this is really, and maybe blue isn't the best color now because now we've got the Democratic blue on the monthly time, right? So just below supply,
105, 106. This is an extremely psychological area for the charts on the DXY, right? Now the supply was created around about that age. On the other side, the demand was created around about that range, high liquidity areas, supply just above that range. It's a massive turning point. The demand, price pumps right about that range, supply around about that range, supply around about range. Please tell me you get it, because I know you do. You're smart, you get it, right? So 105 and 106 are our psychological areas. Sorry, kind of like doesn't look straight no more, right? Our psychological areas for the US dollar, and that's very important. So whenever the dollar breaks above this area, and I've already explained why. I'm going to show you why, but I've kind of already explained it, right? The data indicates that America is nowhere close to dealing with inflation. Okay, number one. Number two, in the background, we know America is approaching a US election, so the dollar is also setting up for the next 4 years, right? Because remember, Republicans come. I'm not saying the next president is going to be Republican. I'm just saying the dollar seems to be pushing up, right? And those guys like to move from supplies to down. And then when Democrats come, price somehow, coincidentally, unplanned, unprovoked, very random, is the demand. I don't know what you want me to say, right? So this, when this happens, right, when this psychological move happens, where that bridge from 105 to 106 is broken and above, it becomes a big deal, right? It becomes a big deal. Generally speaking, we become very dollar positive, number one. Number two, yields go up as well, right? And that's not because of this level, but I'm just saying that there's an extreme parallel, a sequence, right? So now let's remind each other about a few basic things. Remember, if DXY gets to really strong, NASDAQ and Bitcoin risk-on assets, right, will always take a hit. Because what we are looking at in the charts is...
All right, let's get cooking. Right, no worries. Please watch the rest of the video at your own time. All right. So yeah. I mean, I spoke a lot about this, understanding that Republicans always move from supplies, Democrats always move from demand. I've done this exercise with you guys a couple of times. It was a clear trade. The Trump trade started in September. If you're with us, you're with us. And this is what the War Room did. The War Room actually would tell you guys ahead of this week, guys, on buying the dollar here. If I lose money like here, where I got stopped out, you get stopped out with me. Another stop loss happened here, but where I make beautiful money, you make money too. Because remember, I'm not your financial advisor. You didn't pay me to give you financial advice. Just because I'm registered does not make me your financial advisor. All my videos are for educational purposes. But yeah, if you're, doing the practical education and you're moving the way I move, that's what War Rooms did, right? So I want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen before we get cooking, right? So I just want to recap your memory on this issue because it's going to come up again. And guys, I could do this for the UK, do this for Germany. We'd go on and 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 on. States operate the same. They are one big ruling class with one big goal, total authority over society, exploitation. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's out to get, the masses don't benefit and they burn, right? You see this red line? Yeah, this red line has been on my charts for the last 3 years in anticipation for a Republican phase. If I go to the monthly time frame, and I'm not making this stuff up because it's in the videos on the channel from the past that I did live back then. So you'll know blue means Democrat, right? So just to remind you guys that I drew this line for you. And in that video, the video I'm talking about, the 11 November 2022, we did these lines together where I taught you about American elections and presidents since 1969. I showed you what happens when Democrats come to power in blue and when Republicans come to power in red. I walked you through this one freaking presidential election every 4 years, from 1970, 69, 72, 1976, 1980, 1984, 1988, and 92 with Bill Clinton, and so forth until we got to Obama in his financial crisis of 2008, the banking crisis, technically speaking. I explained to you why Republicans won in 2016 with Trump coming to power in 2016 and being booted out just shortly after COVID, right? And I did say this in a very controversial take. I told you that Americans are not voting for Biden because they all of a sudden, the people who voted for Trump are no longer anti-women, are no longer racist or anti-white supremacist, whatever it is that you think Trump is, because I don't care, right? I say they are voting for Biden to punish Trump. They are punishing Trump because of the impact of COVID on the economy. It doesn't translate to we hate Trump because they clearly don't. Anyways, right. So have a look here. Have a look one more time, 365 traders. When Biden comes into power, look at where price is. I mean, guys, some of you, because I've stopped making videos, and I'm aware of this. I know this happens a lot. It's just part of life. People are always going to keep learning new stuff, try new gurus. It's the thing because you want to get better and better and better, but you're not disciplined in what you're getting better in, right? You think trying out new things might get you better because you're looking for the quick fix. That's not how markets work. Financial markets, you get better by having one true market edge, which I teach in my course, and back testing it until you know it by the back of your head. Right. Look at where the Democrats are. Look at this. This is where Biden takes power. And when Biden takes power on a governing time frame of the dollar, markets have nested themselves inside a strong demand. Not only that, but Biden's rise to power is actually a fresh touch, or the first time price tries to leave, but not really, right? And then it's secured. See there? Price comes here for the very first time right in here, the 4th of November, 3rd of November, 2020 elections. That's when Biden comes into power in direct correlation with a governing time frame, because Democrats, most of the time, since 1969, in fact, if you remember when I did this, we even highlighted the anomaly. This was one of the few times in history where Democrats took over in a supply and then price dropped. And because of that, Ronald Reagan in the 1980s comes into power from a demand. It was a weird anomaly, but we understand that capitalism was going through an incredible crisis. We had Margaret Thatcher on the other side crushing labor in the UK and spreading what is called Thatcherism. We had Fordism, which was actually is it a mode of regulation? I can't remember now. Is it a mode of regulation or a mode of accumulation? Right. The capitalistic base of society was changing in the broad brackets of what we call the global age of capitalism in the 1970s, right? So the base changed, and that's why we see this anomaly where the Democrats actually come into power in 1976 at a supply. I've always left that there to say my theory is give or take 90% true with that, because normally a Republican should have taken over here and Democrats should have taken over at the bottom. But any other time, historically, we know that Democrats will always move from a demand. Barack Obama, 2008, moved from a demand. As the financial crisis was melting, risk assets, Euro USD, Bitcoin, whatever it is in 2008, all those big movements are coming down from a supply. The dollar is going up. What? Safe flow heavens. You know, where money moves, right, according to the flow, the regulatory flow of those fundamentals. There's Obama there, bouncing off a strong demand. There's Trump in 2016 coming into a strong supply. And Trump uses his supplies. I'm telling you this now because it's important. Trump, historically, you see, he comes in here sometime in January, blah, 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 November 2016. Trump came back during COVID. When COVID came, this much signal, tap this supply. Maybe you're new to my channel because I've been teaching this for so long. I don't want to take you for granted. I forget that some of you are seeing me for the first time. I'm going to try and remember to leave a link down below. Get the course, get my module 1 and module 2 in one go, and spend 68 hours I spent in that course designing my Trader's Edge. Teaches you this stuff like you're a baby, right? I walk you through the stuff like it's your ABCs. But Trump uses his supply, and this pushes price down to what? Supply to demand, demand to supply. That's how markets move. It's not a perfect economic model, but it's definitely how financial markets move, right? And there we go. It's back into the demand. There goes Biden. And that's what Democrats have been known to do with their economic policies, right? People like one first black man, Barack Obama. That man did more war crimes than I can count, because it's got nothing to do with race. It's got a lot to do with your class, though. It's got a lot to do with your class, though. And the ruling elite are going to maintain power, though. And when they maintain power in the dirtiest ways. And when the Democrats are up, generally speaking, you get a pump in the dollar. When Democrats are up, generally speaking, you get a pump in the dollar. When Democrats are up, you see this there? Let's make this line blue, because this is when Sleepy Joe comes in, right? Biden comes in here. Let's make it thick. There we go. Right, there we go. When Democrats are up, the dollar does amazing because everything else suffers, right? When Republicans are up, the dollar generally sells off because Trump is known as a risk-on guy, the stock market guy. I moved NASDAQ from 5,000 when he came into power in 2016. I can't remember what it was, but NASDAQ just kept flying for those 4 years, flying, Bitcoin flying, risk-on assets fly anytime a Republican is on power, and the dollar is a safe haven, starts to stabilize, right? So you can see here, this is all during Democrats. All of a sudden, somewhere here, price starts to fall a little bit. 2022, right, 2 years ago. And in that same year, 2022, in November, somewhere here, you see somewhere here, right here in this big candlestick, I tell you, 2022, the next president of the United States is probably going to be a Republican, and Trump was running there anyways. And back then, it wasn't even a case of I knew that was going to be a golden unicorn, that the Democrats were going to kind of throw in a black woman and try and make it look cool and trendy to get other people to vote. I didn't know that. I just knew it was Trump versus Biden. And it wasn't on the merits of Trump being better than Biden or Biden being worse than Trump. They're all idiots to me, right? It was on the simple fact that if markets move the way they move and they keep breaking demand, you see this demand here, this demand was knocked off just a month after I said that. This is December 2022. I said this in November. When you remove a demand, where are you going, bro? You're going down. But what's forcing you to go down? A supply. How does price move from supply to demand and demand to supply? The theory of equilibrium, it goes on and on and on. And so I started to say, look, man, there's a high chance because of how high the Democrats push the dollar up. And I'll explain what that means, right? So here's another way to think about it. This is where Barack Obama left. In 2008, Obama takes over here, somewhere down here, right? There's his demands reacting somewhere down there. 4th of November, somewhere down there, 2008, whatever. And then markets rally all the way up, right? All the way here. And then Obama does 2 terms. So he does back-to-back, 4-4. He does 8 years, all right? And then Trump comes in up here and he pushes the dollar down, Republican effect, all right? And then the dollar is pushed back up above where Trump left the dollar, right? And there's nothing to do with whether it was good or bad. It's more to do with just how things run, all right? Now we're looking at Biden, and Biden's job, right, which was here, was he's left the dollar down. We now need this. This is also another way to teach this called market corrections. Markets self-correct. Markets don't trend forever. They have to come down. They literally have to cool off. A trader can make money when markets are going up, when markets are coming down, and when markets are trading sideways. An investor only makes money when markets go up. But an investor makes smart plays by buying more when markets are coming down. If his thesis, her thesis, their thesis, everybody's thesis, if the thesis is correct, that later on, the thing that you're buying coming down will go up again, then you're on the right path, right? So when I put all these things together, plus economic history, which shows, I mean, Marxists literally do this all the time. They're like, look, man, we can tell where society is going by looking at where it's been, right? There's some economic reductiveness in that particular theory. I agree. There's some redundant things that they take for granted. I agree. But overall, it's a brilliant outlook to society, historical transformations, and how societies move over time. If you're new to this channel, I talk fast, better listen slow. I talk fast. I'm working on it. I talk fast. I can tell I'm talking fast. I'm excited. I miss recording. I miss doing this for you guys. I miss this. Even if it breaks my heart sometimes, I miss this so much. Right? So now look at this. So now as demands have been removed, and I'm telling y'all on November 2022, look, man, 2 years' time, the next president is going to be Republican because they're creating supplies. Because you can't have broken demands and still want to maintain strong. Because yes, there was always a possibility that the dollar was going to fall to say this demand here, and then Kamala Harris, if price had gotten there, I was going to change. I'm like, oh, Democrats, trust me, Democrats, because then I would know. But then markets refused to go there. Power was busy left, right, and center trying to save the day. You ever heard the term Captain Save a Hoe? Captain Save a Hoe is not a nice thing to say, but I'm going to apply it now. It's when you're trying to change someone who just doesn't want to change. When you're trying to wifey someone who's just for the streets. That's what Powell was trying to do. He was trying to save the economy, but the economy was just hoeing on the streets, dating inflation, dating NFP false data, unemployment up, unemployment down, wage price spiral up, wage price spiral down, inflation 6.7, 8.9, 9.1, 8.7, 7.6, inflation up or down. Oh no, we can't use this report. It was just too much. Markets are like, screw you, Jerome Powell. We will choose what we want. We are going to consolidate. What does that mean? Markets ranged for 2 years. They ranged. They didn't break out. Look at this. This is a range, people. Markets are ranging. They're just chilling, waiting for clarity. But if you're not careful and if you're not like equipped, right, to understand what these ranges represent and what they mean, you might miss out on very key things. For example, if I zoom into this range, which we found so interesting in the senior traders room, and I really wish, even though I feel like I'd done enough on this topic, I wish I'd done another follow-up video after April to say, guys, can you see this in October? This is October last year, by the way, 2023. In this range, if you're into ICT, you've got a breaker here of this big candlestick. A bearish engulfing pattern is formed. A new supply is formed. In my module 1, we talk about original turns in the markets, where a turn that does not have a left predecessor. So there isn't a supply on the left of the chart to say time for price to drop. This is a decision that the elite make without you, because you don't even have the money to make that, because you are ruled by capitalism, right? This is a banking decision. This is hedge fund money. This is an institutional pool deciding to do a sell-off. But remember, we can't sell everything at once. It'll create a flash crash. So we start to sell orders periodically, but systematically, in a way that retail traders can't read, but in a way that institutional traders can follow. That's why we teach institutional trading 365, because this happens. And as this is happening, Powell is doing his dance, he's doing his job, trying to manage inflation. The dollar dances through here. I don't want to remove my risk on, risk off, because I need that stuff for my reports at the end of the year of trades I've taken. But you can clearly see there's a strong supply, price comes back, ranges. April 2024, when I say I am back, and I make the video that I just played for you, that's where price was, sitting inside a supply with my red Republican line already marked. When price was here, oh God, help me teach this properly. Father, slow me down and quicken their ears and hearts of understanding. Listen to me carefully. Listen to me carefully. When price was here in April 2024, I've removed the candlesticks for you to make it better. And I said I'm back like I never left, and then I left like your daddy. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I didn't leave like your daddy. I came back. I'm joking again. I apologize. Right, look at this. Anyways, April, right? Where is it? Okay, that's the April candlestick. It's moving a bit slow. Let's speed it up a bit. Okay, times 2 is going to go a bit fast. Pause. Right, so this is where I come. April 2024. And I'm like, guys, price at a supply right now. Let's remove everything. Maybe this will help you see. Do you see? This is April 2024. This is what I am talking about. Price arrives at a supply. I do a video for you and I say I'm back, but price, the dollars at a supply based on my long wave analysis, and we've got elections in a few months' time. If the dollar doesn't break these psychological levels and clears the supply, the Democrats don't have the election. That's what I was trying to communicate to you. Even though I stated even clearer 2 years ago, you have to know this because it meant knowing this information, you knew what to buy and hold in the crypto space, in bonds, in yields. You knew what to do with your cash reserves. The people who have this information are paying out now. The people who don't have this information are trying to jump in on the train now. They're trying to buy Bitcoin now at its all-time high. Now. Look. You think I'm making this up? Look at Bitcoin. This is why people get burnt. This is why we've got such a tiny win rate in financial markets. First of all, there are not a lot of good people teaching, and the good teachers charge a lot. And the ones who are good, who charge absolutely nothing and do free videos, get burnt out when people don't show them love. And so a lot of people are lost. Look at Bitcoin. Look at it. Who's buying up there? Where were you here? This is this year. You see this buy that I'm still holding? This one here. This is September. Where were you? September is not 10 months ago, right? And I've got a video on the channel where I drew this. Remember this? You want me to find it for you live here? You want me to find it for you while I make this video? I drew 1, 2, 3. I said price is going to come here gradually. We're going to break out of this trend like NASDAQ. I did this for you. I'll go to my channel and find this video, bro. I will do right now. I didn't plan this, so it might take me a little bit, but I'll find the video if you want. And then I say two.
NASDAQ being a big conglomerate tech stock, and we all on this channel, I've shown you guys the positive correlation between NASDAQ stocks and Bitcoin. Right? This is a very simple, very simple, precise movement. These two white lines, please don't get confused. I'm just mapping out some liquidity areas, which pretty much are almost taken out right now. And then after that, we get into phase 2, which is a free fall, into phase 3, which is a very good buying area. This is the area that I really want us to pay attention to. That I am paying attention to. I am absolutely, paying attention to this area and very interested to see, what is going to happen when price gets here. From here to our last all-time highs, right? So, or not all-time highs per se, but yeah, sure, all-time highs, all the way down here is a very good number. If we get a 20 to 30% drop, there we go, 30% drop. That's a good number. Bitcoin, generally speaking, will drop 30% after a big all-time high consolidation before it shoots up. And right there seems to be a situation where a previous supply was taken out. That's why this area is marked red, right? A very strong supply here was taken out in the past at this level, right? 1, 2, these two supplies. Shame, you probably still can't see. Let me just keep zooming in for you. I'm on the daily time frame. Might even make it easier for you if I go to the weekly, right? So this area here, more like this area, but this area too. But let's go to the weekly time frame. Don't do this to me. Right, there we go. Right, so not the strongest, right? So that's why it was bullish, but you can see right there, we've got some type of strong consolidation range going up, and then markets bounce back when they come in, hit that area where we knew we're coming for 30K. If you're trading with me back then, we spoke about this area a lot, right? This whole red zone here is a good place for price to bounce back, right? In terms of psychological levels, anyways, 30%. If 3 doesn't hold and we drop even lower, I'm technically happy, but I'm very interested in buying at 3, right? Look at what it looks like structure-wise on the weekly time frame now. You saw on the daily there were too many extra candles, but look at how clean it is on the weekly time frame, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a further drop. Now, if your analysis tells you this thing is falling because of the war, then that's up to you, right? But I can tell you that grayscale somewhere
at 3, because we broke this zone, this is where we're going to bounce back up. Do you understand that having this type of insight as an investor, also as a trader, investor and a trader, right, meant you were in a good place to hold. You're looking at this on the daily time frame. Did you understand this? This is September. This is the Trump trade. This is September, patience. October, November, literally in less than 3 months, your rate of return should be insane in less than 3 months. But now the problem with society, not only do we like 2-minute noodles, which are very bad for us, we also like 2-minute financial noodle gains. We like quick money, easy money, unplanned money, and we hate the type of money that it takes to work. Who's buying here? Actually, not even there. I'm lying. Who's buying here? What do you think is going to happen here? The people like some of us, right, who forget about those who bought here in September, when they now want to take profit, when they say, well done for being smart and having the foresight, the patience, the diligence to do research, to understand what you're putting your money in, when those people want to cash in and they now want their money and they start to take profits, but you bought Bitcoin here, sir, ma'am, he, they, whatever. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen to price? There won't be, let's say there's no crash, there's no bad news. Let's say all the wars end, but somebody bought 1 million rands of Bitcoin there times 300 million people. BlackRock, that's been buying Bitcoin EFTs like a crazy, deranged ex-divorcee in a divorce court. What do you think is going to happen when they decide to take some profit? Price drops, guys. The moment institutions or heavy flows, when the whales go profit taking season time, we made a good decision, it's paid off, let's take profit, price drops. And when price drops, price will drop to the next institutional demand. And if you don't know how to read those levels, you are going to be margin called, stopped out, broke, and bankrupt, and left disillusioned with the lie that financial markets don't work. When everybody down here, what down there, what down there, what down there, starts to take profit, this will fall with your buy here. They will be in the green, you will be in the red, and you're going to think life is a scam. You're scamming yourself by not investing in education. Your life is a scam. It's your fault. And there's so many free videos on my channel that will help you through that. Okay, I'm done plugging my channel. But I'm really trying to help you here. Understand the season you're in. Understand the market. It's nice that Bitcoin is at an all-time high, especially if you've been buying. Yeah, enjoy that. You deserve that. Well done to you. If you've been buying low, yeah, what are you doing throughout this whole consolidation period at an all-time high? You had to wait for price to drop. Well done to you when Bitcoin dropped to 30, 20 something thousand, literally this year. Well, I'm not talking about Bitcoin this year in January. This year was 37,000 US dollars. Right now, today is trading at 75, almost double. This year, I don't want to mock you. I don't want to tell you what Bitcoin was 2 years ago, right? That'll hurt your feelings. Okay, that's fine. I'm saying in January this year, as old as you are, you now know about Bitcoin. You did nothing. You want to do something now? Oh, some of you guys, you need to do zip lining, jump off buildings without parachutes, skydive, so you can get that adrenaline rush. Stop playing with your money, bro. Anyways, my video is getting too long. Here we are in April. I'm like, guys, price is at a supply. Because of that, with no real demand in sight, I know that Republicans operate from a place of supply, the Democrats from a place of demand. So I'm pretty sure in November, we're going to get Trump. That's the whole point. That's how I knew. First supply gets engaged in April, price drops. I'm going to speed this thing up. Right, this is June. We have consolidation by the supply, no breaking. Pause, pause, pause. What happens? What happens here? Look at this. Instead of breaking supply one, the original turn. If you don't know the original turns, you haven't done my module one. But 365 students, the faithful, go back to the course's lifetime. You have access to it. You can watch those videos 20, 50 times until you get into my mind. The supply didn't break. It released the fresh touch. What does this mean? It's a governing chart. What did I teach you? Sometimes I feel like I should become like Casper in your vest and invite all my students to a stadium and we fight. We just fist fight so that if I win, you listen for real. You know? Come on. So, the mentorship means I don't know what you know, But I like that you know it because I've seen you do it. Not that you talk about it, but you walk the walk, you walk the talk. That's what mentorship means. Because I've seen you do it, I want you to be my mentor. Now, what that means is my medulla oblongata, the reasoning part of my brain, I'm going to dial it down a bit. I'm not going to think I know while not knowing, trying to know. I'm going to shut up and learn and follow. Because in life, I know that you can learn through a mentor or mistakes. If you choose the part of mentorship, only do what you're told to do until you have data, empirical, undisputable data that what you're being told to do doesn't work. If I tell you to do something and then I disappear, then I come back and you're doing everything, you will never have the progressive results in your life to know if it works or not. Right? That's what mentorship means. It means I give up my capacity to lead myself in a specific area of my life. I'm going to trust you to lead me down the right path up until a point in time where I decide for myself that you're right or wrong. And that point in time in my life is based on evidence that you're wrong. I am not wrong. You can see. So 365 students, I've taught you this, but supply doesn't get broken. And it happens at the first touch. Are we not owed a retest? It's in my module 1. Are we not owed a retest? Yeah. Now, check this out. In July this year, a new supply is formed. What does that mean? There is a reinforcement. This is no longer an original turn. Don't lie now. Don't say we did. Yeah, we didn't know. As a retail individual trader, I agree. This was beautiful. Original turn. Bank can do that. They're fine. When price came back, we knew. We knew now. When price gave us more supply, we knew. Because somebody has to come back here. There has to be a reckoning of sell orders for the institutions to make money, because that's what all capitalists care about. They will use Nike to promote wokeness, be woke, and use child labor because it's profits at the end of the day. Same thing here. You create a supply. You must retouch it so that those who sold and have unsold orders waiting to be sold get a chance to make money. Price here where I pause, it is now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now September. Yeah, September 2024. Okay, and I showed you another chart of what happened in September 2024. Look, bro, when I start to cook and I start to correlate markets for you, which I've done so many times before, your job is to eat. Eat, bro, learn. I'm not selling this information. I'm putting it on your table. Get a notebook, subscribe, watch this video. That's how I learned. Well, I did thousands of different courses, but I had a research background, so I knew how to organize information and retain it. I am trying to do the same for everybody, all right? Look at September. So Bitcoin starts to go crazy. In September 2024, watch the dollar. Watch the dollar. Because normally, economically speaking, dollar is a safe haven. So if there's a war, the dollar will pop because people are now we need a safe haven. Dollar is a safe haven. Gold is a safe haven. But sometimes we can choose risky assets to dump money in. And all of a sudden, Bitcoin is pumping in September. Here I've got the daily chart in September. So I can tell you that this is the 5th of September. On the dollar, I've got the monthly chart. But watch what happens. So these candlesticks here, one candlestick represents 30 days, all right, to save time. Watch what happens in the month of September 2024. Look left, number 1. Left here, we've got a broken demand. We've just got wicks, right? In my module, whenever you get module 3, you'll learn a lot about wicks. But you can see there's no substantial demand for Democrats or for buyers in the dollar right now. Look what the banks do, an institution. That's September there. This candlestick right there is September. Boom. Pause. Look at that. Oh, already there. This is October. A bullish engulfing candle out of nowhere shows up. Out of nowhere. You know, Literally, and then price rallies into November, and we are on the 7th of November. If you study charts, guys, where on the 7th day of the month do you see such a big monthly candlestick that has already formed a bottom wick and a top wick, even though on the 7th of November implies there's still 23 days of this candlestick to move up and down. Markets rush to make contact with a supply. At the same time, Trump is elected president because price is at a supply and Republicans operate from a place of supply and Democrats operate from a place of demand. Does this mean this stuff is coordinated? I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'm not even going to get into that debate. But I can tell you that this stuff is there. It is there for you to master. Now I've lost all my beautiful notes. Will I get them back? Do you guys even care that I sometimes rub out all my notes to teach? Oh, they're gone. I forgot to save my drawings. And now I have to do all that beautiful work again. All that stuff, Democrats, da 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 da. That's how I lost it the last time. Then I redid it with you guys. It's all gone. It's all gone. I'm gonna cry. Well, I hope this video was helpful. 365, I'm back, kinda. My next video will be a trader's war room. My next video will be looking at maybe 25 assets of what I want to trade next. Because now the sentiment, just so you know, a lot of traders and a lot of marketplace values the first 100 days of president because that's when he lies the most and he promises the most. Policy this, and I'm going to deport 10 million people, and And if it was Kamala Harris, she'd be promising a butt off as well. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to free the women, and all women are going to drive cars in space now. Right? And markets use that as sentiment, right? So the next war room I will do, and I hope it's this weekend, right? I'm recording this on the 7th of November. I hope this weekend I'll have time to do a war room for you. If I do, I'll give you my trades for the next 100 days on this channel. So subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, comment, talk to me, shake my hand. I hope this helped. And if we're offended by anything I said, I have a good therapist you can call. I'm joking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I offended you. Shake my hand. See you in the next video. 365, love and light. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Politics is no way of, a guiding lampstick of your life, right? State is trash. Doesn't matter who's in power. They're all trash. Cheers, guys.